Hey guys, how are you? Thanks again so much, guys, for tuning in on a Thursday. Happy Christmas Eve of Eve. So tonight I have three beautiful ladies with us here who are taking the time out from the busy hustle and bustle of Christmas. But I love that we're doing it on the Christmas Eve because I feel like all of us join because Christmas being one of the reasons. I know for myself, Christmas has always been a struggle with debt and bills and all of the things, but you want to be able to have just that really nice holiday, spending time with family. And so the business in a nutshell just kind of helps us all bring in that extra source of income to allow us to be able, especially this time of year, just be a blessing to help our families. So I'm going to send it over here to Melissa. She is with us tonight, and I actually have never heard her story. I know that she's part of our team as like a little sideline, one team, one mission kind of thing. And so I'm super excited to hear your story, your journey with the company. So Melissa, if you want to go ahead, you can unmute and go away, share away.
Thank you so much for inviting me here tonight. It's really an honor, and your team is awesome. Samantha's awesome. So I'm really excited to be here tonight. So I started in 2014 when there's no Facebook Live or stories or any cool things that are on social media now. I was a full-time bookkeeper. So I was working my business with a full-time job, 40 plus hours a week. And I started in April of 2014. So it was like the worst time of year actually for me to even start this, because during tax time, when you're a bookkeeper, it's like you can't even ask for time off or vacation or anything. It's really, really busy time of year. And that's really why I said yes to this, because I was tired of, asking for time off and it not getting approved, and not being able to take any time off with my family during the holidays was like a big factor for me. I wasn't looking for something like this. I actually went with my sister to, we called them spa parties back in the day, because she was getting married and she wanted to try the body wraps. So I tried one with her. I tried it on my arms, and 45 minutes later, I just had these amazing results that, I had been trying to eat different, drink more water, go to the gym, lift more weights, and nothing was happening to the cellulite that I had on my arms. So after I took off our body wrap, I was just amazed at what I saw with my skin. And I just thought, who wouldn't want to try this? I mean, who doesn't have an area that they would like to see change, even though they've made, other changes on their body? And I just felt like, I don't know how to do this, but if I can get paid really well doing something that I don't enjoy, I'm sure I can learn. So that's basically why I said yes. I had to wait until I got paid to start. And then I used the only credit card that I had that I maxed out to get started. So I didn't really have a choice but to make my money back within the first 30 days that I joined. And I did, and then some. And it was just the best decision I could ever make. Honestly, I did this business and had a full-time job for about a year. And one day I came into work and my boss said, "We don't need you anymore." So if I didn't have this, I don't know what I would have done in that moment, because I was engaged at the time, ready to get married, and our parents couldn't help us with the wedding. So we were paying for the entire thing, bit by bit. And we didn't have any credit cards to put it on or anything like that. We wanted to pay for it in cash, and we were able to do that. And I remember the day that I came home that I got let go from my job, and my husband, now fiance at the time, he said, "What are you going to do?" And I said, "Well, I've been home since, noon, and I've made more since then than a whole day of being a bookkeeper." So he gave me like 90 days to replace that. And I said, well, I don't want to go back to bookkeeping. So I just kept going. And I've learned social media ever since then. I've always had a hybrid business. So I've always done things in person up until last year, 2020, where you couldn't anymore. So I really dived into social media, and I've learned a lot in the last year just doing it on social media. And I really enjoy it. It's a great business.
So it's crazy that you say that, like, bookkeeping, like you would think that like when you look at that, you're like, oh man, she has like a great job. Like, even though she has that little bit a busy season, like she has a really, really great job. But it kind of blows my mind that like all your hard work and time you did there, you went into work and then they were like, we don't have we're going to let you go. And I feel like so many people are relating to that right now because there is a lot going on in the world. And I feel like that's job security is like such a huge thing for people. And it is really nice that whatever reason it was that you joined the business, because now you had something to fall back on. My question to you is, I know that you said you were super, super busy, like 40 hours a week. And I'm sure taxes, like I'm not a green person, so I can't even like fathom that idea. But like what made you want to do it, that you were like, despite all the time that I'm putting in my full-time job, I'm going to take on something else? Like, I feel like most of us are like, no, I don't want to take on anymore. Like, what was it that made you want to do that?
Honestly, I'm a bit older than you girls, so I don't know if you're at this stage in your life or not, but I got married later in life. And my parents are from Peru, so I'm an immigrant's daughter, first generation American. I know what it's like to grow up with your parents, banking on you, having a different life than they did, and paying for you to go to really expensive school and just create a different life for yourself that they didn't have the opportunity to have. So for me, what really made me decide and just go all in is I wanted my daughter to have a different life. My mom gave me the best of everything, wonderful education. She paid for everything. I didn't have a student loan through college, but I didn't see her. So my mom worked 12, sometimes 14 hours a day. I didn't see my mom. Somebody else raised me, basically. So when I got married, that was really important to me. That was a really important factor, to have a career where I could work around my family's life and not the other way around. So thank God for this business, because I was able to do that. And I had, not the easiest time getting pregnant. And my daughter doesn't know anything but me being home. And she's 4 now. So she's in preschool, and I get to go and like volunteer in her school and do all these fun things with her. Yesterday, we went to the snow. She'd never seen the snow before. Those are like precious moments that you don't get back with your kids. And they may not remember, but you remember what you were there for and what you weren't. And that was something that was not negotiable for me. That was something that I wanted to do those things when she was growing up. I didn't want to miss anything of her life. So
you're so right. And I feel like time is so short. And if anything, the last 2 years, if that hasn't taught a lot of people that time is short. And that, I feel like there's a lot of people that are going to watch this and just going to really relate to that, because that is something generational. And you say that, and it's funny because I feel like I was the same way. Like, I was talking to my mom, and she was a teacher, and she's like, you didn't know any better. People, babysat you while I was going to school, or got you to the bus, or picked you up, and like, no, you didn't know any better. But my mom remembered. She's like, I always remember, just thinking like, hopefully she'll remember the good times and remember like me not being home, like me, like not remember that little part of me not being home. And I love that you changed that for your generation. So now your daughter can see and have those moments. And you just, I love that. That's so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing, Melissa. I appreciate that. A beautiful story.
Thank you.
Michaela, go ahead and unmute. Come on.
Hello there.
I would love to hear your story.
All right. So I'm Michaela. I am from Denver, Pennsylvania, and 23 years old. I joined this business, just over 3 years ago. And I have a really unique startup in this business. And my enroller, Sam Bowers, her husband worked with my dad. My dad at the time, years ago, I was still living at home, in college, working part-time. And my dad came home one day and he was talking about Sam Bowers and just the difference that this income is making for their family, and just how it's literally changing their lives and everything. And my dad was like, I'm not paying for your student loans for college. and you only work part-time because I was a full-time college kid. And he's like, you need to pay off your loans somehow. And so he told me to like go start this business. And I was totally against it. Sorry, my dogs are in my face because I just got home. I did not want to start a business like this. Not that I was like against it. I just never saw myself as being like one of those girls on Facebook that sells things and everything. And so I reached out to Sam and got some info. I left her on red. I did not answer her. 2 or 3 weeks later, my dad was like, "How's your business going?" And I was like, I didn't start it. Like, I'm not doing that. And me being the daddy's girl I am, ended up signing up a few days later because my dad told me to do it. And I've never looked back. This business, it's totally everything I like. It was very unexpected. The friendships that I've made, the ladies that I've just met, and just the growth that I've experienced, not only financially, but also like personally and as a woman and everything. It's truly just life changing. And so, because of this business, it paid for my college tuition, my associate's degree, and then I got married. Oh my goodness, I can't even keep track of time. Just over 2 years ago, I got married, and then we were able to take our dream honeymoon to like Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado. That was completely paid for in cash because of this business. And it's just it's allowed me to dream bigger than I ever thought I would be able to. I'm a veterinary nurse, and so I work crazy hours and everything, but it's also um, I've gotten an opportunity to travel to South Africa this coming summer to participate in like veterinary missions work over there. So this business is helping support me in my airfare and traveling and all the things for that. And it's just I don't know, I've never like I was never like a big dreamer, I guess, and this business has just taught me that anything is possible, no matter what you put your mind to. So
That's beautiful. I like that. I mean, I feel like that's so true, this business. And this is the thing, I feel like as you grow your mind, you start to imagine things, you start to see different things, want different things. And it makes you kind of, just like you said, dream bigger, want bigger, see more things, want to do more things with the things that you're doing. Something that I wanted to ask you for, just because it kind of stuck out to me, because I feel like we get this a lot when we're talking to people about what we do, because it is something that's so uncommon, or not what's, in the traditional box mold that we know of is, a normal job. You said that you were like, I didn't want to be that girl. Like, and I feel like I get that a lot too. Like, people are nervous to kind of just be on social media or do what you do.
Yeah, it's not the normal and everything.
But what would you say to the girl that says that to you? Like, what do you say to her?
There's no such thing as normal, first of all, and there's no such thing as perfect or anything like that. I don't know. I would say just take the chance. If you give it a try and it ends up, not being your cup of tea, that's okay. It's not meant to be everyone's cup of tea. But I would say at least give it a chance and take the opportunity, and at least if it doesn't work out, you can say you tried it, but it's just completely life changing and in so many ways and everything.
I
And
feel like
I
that
never
was you
thought,
almost a little bit. Like, you were nervous
yeah,
to do it,
yeah,
but your dad asked you,
it's,
did you sign up? Like, how's it going? And you were like, no, I didn't do it. Like, I don't want to be
yeah,
that person.
it wasn't that I was like against it necessarily or anything. I just like, I was never, I never saw myself as like a confident person or someone who would be like comfortable and like I guess it would be confident in talking to people about just like business and life and products and sharing the different things that we offer. I was just never that person growing up. I was a little more like shy and everything. So it really pushes you out of your comfort zone, but in a good way. And yeah, I would say yes 1,000 times over again. So
Look at you, introvert, like coming on and doing a Zoom and sharing your story and like just hearing your growth. And I think if anything, like if somebody's watching this and they're thinking that same thing like you, that like you should do this because like Michaela said, you just don't know until you try. And look what all of this has done for her in this short amount of time, how it's made her grow and how it's changed who she is and her goals and aspirations. And I think if anything, if you can even take like 90 days out of the business and it changes you just that little bit, that's worth it all. Because look at you now being confident on this Zoom right now.
I know. If you would like, I mean, if you would have said to me 3 years ago, hey, you're gonna talk on a Zoom to who knows how many people about what this business is or about your life and how it's affected you, I would have like crawled in the corner and everything. Like I am not a public speaker. I never was in school. So yeah, it's definitely changed me in many good ways. So
well, I appreciate you taking the time. That was really great to hear your story. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. And, you know, they're part of their journey where they were like you were in college and all that stuff. So I really appreciate you, Michaela, for spending the night.
Thank you guys.
Yeah. Okay. Autumn, this girl, I'm super excited to have her on. She has a crazy, amazing story and I've just overcome a whole lot. So Autumn, like just share away. Tell us all the goods.
Hi, so my name is Autumn. I'm from PA, been in the business for 2 years now, and I found this business. I was watching a friend from college, and she was talking about how she was getting ready to quit her nursing job, and she was going to stay home with her babies, and she kept talking about these products, and I was overweight, and I was just really unhappy with myself, and I kept thinking, I want to use these products, but I really can't afford it with my current situation. I was living paycheck to paycheck. I was working 2 jobs. I was a juvenile caseworker at a group home of boys, and I was also a bartender. And I worked 100 hours a week between both jobs. So when everyone says like they're busy, I was the most busy at the time, and I still decided to start this. And I thought, if I could just make enough money to use the products, then that would like make this worthwhile for me. And I didn't even try the products before I started the business. I was like a unicorn almost. She was like, you should do this. And I was like, okay, fine. And I did. And I've never regretted my decision since. I've lost 45 pounds with these products and I've been able to keep the weight off, which is a huge blessing. And since then, I've been able to quit both of those jobs. Now, I loved what I did. I was at the group home of boys. I loved what I did, where I was getting to help people. And the reality is it was a really hard job to have. It's a really high stress environment. It was something where I was overworked, underpaid, underappreciated. And I had like a mental breakdown. I remember driving to work and I couldn't even grip the steering wheel because I was having such a bad panic attack, thinking about all of the responsibilities I was having when I was going to show up to work. And I dreaded that feeling that like I'm in this profession of helping people, and here I am with my own mental health on the line. And I realized something had to go. And I decided to quit and just work the bar full time and work this business. So I was doing this business very much part-time initially. I was working it in like the odd hours where it was like I was getting, 3, 4, 5 hours of sleep sometimes. And I was still figuring a way to make this work because I didn't want to keep living paycheck to paycheck. I don't have family. So for me, this was my security. This is my way of saying that like, I'm going to be the one to take care of myself. I don't have anyone else to rely on. There's no one else paying my bills. There's no plan B for me. And I was able to quickly, I guess not quickly, but rank up enough in my mind where it was like, okay, like I'm making enough money. I'm losing weight. I love these products. The connections that I made with people because I didn't have a family have been everything to me. I've been on my own since 14 years old. So for me, being able to come into a business that I thought I just wanted to lose weight with, and then find people these are the people that I tell when I'm having a good day and a bad day. And they're the first people I called when I got engaged, and the first people I call when I'm having something wrong. And it's been a huge blessing for me. And eventually I realized I didn't want to work the bar anymore. The pandemic hit, and I was able to say goodbye to that and do this full time. So I've been doing this full time now for, it was a year in September. And it's just been a really big blessing. I've been chronically ill for about 2 years now. And it's been really hard for me to juggle going to doctor's appointments and all of the medical bills that come up. And sometimes I'll get like a random specialist appointment that I've been waiting 6 months for, and they call and say, hey, we can get you in tomorrow. And you bet your butt I'm dropping whatever I'm doing and I'm driving to that. And this business gives me the freedom to do that. You know, I don't have any children. My fiance and I, we don't want any kids. We have 3 fur babies, and that's just the life that we want. But I thought for a really long time that because I didn't have kids, that I couldn't be like a stay-at-home person, that I had to like, I don't have a kid, so what am I going to do? But the reality is I'm still busy. I still find things. I still live my life, and I just find ways that this business allowed me to kind of do more of that, live more life. I get to do more of the things that I want to do and help more, and more of the things that matter to me that I really didn't have the time to do before because I was so busy just working to survive, basically.
You like, she's overcome so much, I feel like. And it's really nice to hear, like, because I feel like there is a lot of people that are coming up with a lot more like health issues, like I'm noticing. And it's so nice that you have this business, like you said, if a specialist calls, to be able to just pick up and go. I mean, that's you right there. That's what time of freedom, or freedom of time, that you have. And that's something that's just irreplaceable. So I want to ask you, because like I feel like you're that rare gem that like we have conversations and they're like, yeah, I want to try the products. Yeah, I want to join. Like, let's do it. I'm into it. But I feel like we all like kind of go through ups and downs in life in general, but even this business. Like, was there ever a moment at yourself that you were like, ooh, what did I get myself into? Like, what would you say to yourself if you've ever been in that moment, to like, because if you wouldn't have stuck through it, I mean, you wouldn't be able to go to a specialist whenever the heck they call you, you know?
And I would say that there's going to be hard days regardless of what job you're in. The reality is, like, I will choose this kind of hard every day because it gives me the freedom to do what I want and live life on my terms. But the reality is, it was hard when I was having to show up to be a caseworker on days when I was sick and I couldn't call off, but like they would make you feel bad about either having to call off or having to try to find someone to cover your shift, or just like, I didn't want to go to work. Like, we all have those days. There's always going to be a day where it's going to be hard and a day where you don't want to do the things. But the reality is I've always been a really hard worker, and I've always been willing to hustle for what it is that I want. And kind of like what Michaela was saying, how this business gives you the freedom to dream. I've never envisioned doing the things that I've been doing since this business. And it gives me the freedom to dream even more. So I want those things. I just completed my dream board for the first time. I didn't do it for my first 2 years. And I kept thinking that it was like one of the biggest regrets that I had, because it was so much fun doing it, just cutting out the things and selecting the things that I wanted, like my dreams and the things that I want to accomplish, and like selecting the silly little quotes that were inspirational. And it was just like so much fun. And I was like, this is why I'm here. This is why God placed this business into my life, because I'm meant for more. And I think there's so many people that they get caught up on the fact of like thinking that you didn't come from money, or you don't have the same opportunities as other people, or your life's too busy, or life's just too crazy, or you have all of these like negative things that go in your mind and all of these insecurities that keep telling you that like you can't do it and why it's not going to work, instead of thinking of like the one thing that like, what if it does? What if it does? What, I mean, the loss that you could have from this is so insignificant compared to all of the gains that you can have. So in my eyes, it's like, do it when it's hard. Do it when you're tired. Do it when you feel like you can't add another thing onto your plate. Spend 5 more minutes doing something. Like, just do it, because at the end of the day, I'm living my life right now and working the way that people aren't willing to, so that one day I can live the way that most people can't.
Oh, that was good. I like that. I mean, that's so true though. Like, honestly, you almost have to like hit your rock bottom to make that switch in your mind, that it's like the hard that I've been doing for the last however many years of my life. And you know, I've been doing that and it's just not like getting you anywhere. And like, look at you working 100 hours a week and you were still struggling. Like anybody in my mind, if I heard somebody was working 100 hours a week, I'd be like, God, they'd be rolling in the dough. Like they're probably pulling up in a Mercedes right now. But no, like it's so crazy to see like how hard people actually really work in a normal 9-to-5 job. And like just to see them not really get a whole lot in their finances or freedoms or whatever it is. And, you know, it's just really crazy to hear your story and just all of the things that you've overcome. And each and every single one of these ladies have overcome so much or different parts of their journeys, you know, that are so inspiring. And hopefully if you're watching this, you're connecting to something, because I want you to know that like this business does not have a perfect mold. It doesn't mean that you have to be a certain way. It doesn't mean you have to drive nice cars and have fancy clothes. Like this business is here to offer you an opportunity to change your life financially, as like Autumn did, lost weight, like physically feel better. I mean, 45 pounds is what I wrote down. You said that's like a whole nother half of a body. Like that's incredible to be able to take products that are really great for your body, that help you shed pounds, but also can help you bring in some extra income and change your life financially, whether you're a fur mama, whether you have kids or a husband or a wife, whatever it is. Like it's just amazing that this business can offer it to you. And so if you're watching this and you can be related to any one of these girls' stories, I want you to reach out to the person who invited you to this chat, or to this group. And I want you to just ask them the questions. I want you to know that you deserve to be here and that you deserve to have that opportunity to change your generation, your future generation, to change just even just this moment right now, and to change you and to do something great with your life. And I hope that you take this video and you just absorb it all in, watch it again, and just be inspired by these three ladies, because they inspire me every single freaking day. So the ladies, thanks so much for hopping on. Does anybody have any last words that like is on their heart to say? You can unmute. If not, no big deal. Anybody? No? Okay. Well, I just want to say thank y'all for hopping on. Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, I should say. Happy Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, all of the things. Thank you, ladies, so much for hopping on. Autumn, do you have anything to say?
I'm just gonna say Merry
Oh, okay, yeah. Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you so much. Happy Thursday. Bye.